Hello everybody, welcome to Legacies of Caine. Yes, apologies, we are definitely a little later than we expected today. Some things changed with the schedule, but don't worry, we're gonna go for about, we're gonna go to about till 5 today. Or, I'm sorry, 6. A little around that. So, CarpeDM will be joining us in a little while. That's one of the reasons why we're running late. The other is, if you were hanging around here a little while ago, in my chat, I totally was, doing some streaming beforehand. Anyway, we're here to play Vampire the Masquerade. Hey, why don't we kind of dive into once again where everybody's characters are kind of mindset wise with what's been going on in the last session. Why don't we start with Dawn? How's Dawn doing?
Dawn is good. She's learned that she can dance like a goth. And
Yeah.
she's pretty good at it. She's pretty good at it. So maybe that's gonna be a new hobby.
Goth dancing.
But yeah, the tapping has freaked her out enough to grab the shotgun right now. So yeah, she's not looking forward to seeing what this thing is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Erik, how are you doing?
You know, at this point, I'm not even sure Erik knows. Lots of shit keeps happening, and the voices don't help. They really don't.
They don't. Samuel, how about you?
Doing pretty alright. I went in there, I handled our business for us.
You really did!
Yeah.
And then I got back and now there's a man in my window.
So last time you got a new mission taking you to London to meet with an elder, which you're not sure how quite to meet. You know two things. He makes donations as his human persona to the University of London, and he works with a number of free gargoyles. This took you to the Prince, the current Prince of London, and to a goth club in the London scene. And of course now, that Nathan has stepped out for basically a quick bit of business early in the morning, we're gonna say, or like a little bit
find
before.
a prostitute.
Probably to find a prostitute before you all kind of settle down. There was a rapping on the window upstairs, and running to find it, you found a tall stone creature with kind of massive wings, kind of just sitting there on like the little little window ledge outside your window.
It's not okay.
No.
Tap, tap, tap. Are you going to let me in?
Swing open.
Just that with the shotgun
Come
right
on
now
in.
pointed at him.
He's just kind of like stretch out, kind of step down, kind of almost like little like just a little step down, kind of like thunking into the ground inside the building. Nice place you have here. Nice part of town. I heard tale you were looking for, well, a few things. But my people are one of them. What do you want?
So I would assume that you are Alistair?
No.
Alistair Cromwell? No.
No.
Fair enough.
Alistair is a good man, but he's not the one. I am not the one you were looking for, Salvador. You can call me Andrew. I know of Alistair.
Well, we were looking to have a meeting with him to potentially, not the best with words, earn his favor?
Andrew's a man that has hard to have a meeting with. I'm sorry, Alistair's a man that's hard to have a meeting with.
Just starts talking about himself in the third person.
Yeah, sorry. Normally, when he needs something, he gets in contact with us through his own means. Messaging. And it's normally business related for us personally.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't want to jeopardize that.
Completely understandable.
Scum, who created us originally, that taint your organization, though many of us join it still, as freedom. Still, there are plenty of us that hold a disdain for them. And Alistair, especially in this city, has been very kind enough to support us in our endeavors, to free the rest of our kin, at least in the city. I wouldn't want to betray that trust.
Mm-hmm. And we wouldn't ask you to.
You're interesting fellows. I have to say that. Well, we noticed when you entered into the city. We can see these things, so to say. And when you were at Carfax Abbey, well... Perhaps, I can help you out.
Okay. Is there something that we would need to do in return, I assume?
Well, for one thing, you have to prove yourselves.
Of course.
We'll give you something. A few days from now. It seems like you already have a lot of deals on the table for information and such. And us, we're probably not the most direct route. Maybe one of them will pan out better for you. But in the meantime, we'll watch. We'll learn. And when we contact you, expect hard work.
Well, we will be willing to help, assuming it's,
He gives this kind of
beneficial
very
to us as
wry
well.
smile across his face as he's kind of like looking at you. Oh, I can only hope so. Well then, lady, gentlemen, be seeing you around. As he kind of just like tumbles out the window behind him then, and you just see him like turn and take flight and just fly off into the night.
Well, that was an interesting encounter.
Yeah, I'm gonna go close all the curtains in case he's creeping on us, because that's I don't like that shit.
Yeah. Feel free to do that.
Lock all the windows.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to get Alistair to help us, right?
Yes.
I can't remember completely. Okay.
Alistair should have information that would translate everything from the nod pages that you have and from the tablet. You were given that stuff to take with you, so you have it like in probably some kind of secured case or something.
Fair enough. All right.
So the question becomes, what do you want? Do you want to just head to bed for now?
What time is it?
Probably it's probably not quite bedtime, or morning, but it's probably close.
Yeah.
I think we were talking it's like 4:35, we'll say, in the morning.
So yeah, that's it's probably around time to maybe get like a late night snack and then go to bed or something. Maybe I go outside, grab a rat or two.
I mean, you probably would have to crawl down to the sewer, so you're like,
Oh, no, I'm already full on blood. It's just like that's what I'm doing with my time.
He's basically like picking out like a doggy bag and like putting some rats in it for later.
You put them in the freezer, keep them fresh. Make a slushie, Everyone likes ice cream.
Look, meal prep is very important.
It is, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna text Nathan all of this wherever he's off to. Yeah.
Yes. Nathan will inform you he ran into some trouble. Nothing he couldn't handle himself, but he'll be back in the evening. He's found a place to hold up.
Out of game?
Mm-hmm.
It would be so funny if I was just like, oh, we need to go help him. He said he doesn't need help, but we need to.
But you don't know where he's at. So he's gonna
make this very difficult for Tantus.
We just go hunt him down.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, I'd probably go to bed after that.
Okay. Right. Just to kind of fast forward a little bit, evening time falls, and all of you go about your business of getting up. Remember to spread your blood. You're 2 for you, Samuel, of course, to get up.
I'm gonna eat those rats that I got.
It's like.
Does that mean I only get to spend one?
Sure, why not? You spend
Let's
some time
go.
getting some blood and just like savaging a few rats in the morning. You see like Samuel like working on one of the rats.
Still a little bit frozen, all right.
Ugh.
You shake it around enough, it'll break it up.
So it seems most of the work that we have lined up is basically just sit around and wait until they contact us. Unless we want to speak to, what were they called? The something?
You would go after the Underprince. The
We could try to
figure.
speak to the Underprince, but otherwise I don't know that there's much we can do beyond waiting for one of them to contact us.
Would we all have to get in the sewer?
I mean, it would probably be ideal that we were all there.
How many bugs are down there?
Maybe it's cleaner in London.
I can deal with rats, but bugs are a whole different thing.
There's definitely rats.
Okay, they're okay.
A lot of rats.
A lot of rats.
Wait, is there
Probably
have
lots
we
of
got
roaches.
baby rats yet? Did he hook up with the English rat? Did Wick get laid?
Oh yeah, what's going on with Wick? Did he ever come back and like hit us up and like, yeah, I totally got it in?
He's
back
back.
with a
He came back
scratch.
during the day, but he hasn't said anything about it.
Okay.
Mhm.
I won't.
That's
ask
some
him, I won't
shame
cry.
right there.
Don't
Maybe
kiss
use
and
someone to
tell.
kiss and tell.
Yeah.
Does he look? What's like the expression that I pick? Because I imagine I can read him pretty well. Is he like sad or is he in a good mood
He's
as
in his
usual?
sort of normal good mood that he usually is in.
Okay.
Mhm.
He got it in.
Mhm.
All right,
gonna-
so we don't have to go to the Underprince. We could just wait until one of the other guys contacts us. Although
How?
they could have information.
How many people would we piss off by visiting the Underprince? Is the thing.
I don't think it would piss off
No.
anyone really. Maybe the prince. I don't know
Yeah.
necessarily their relations. Like their relationship.
Nosferatu traditionally are Camarilla, so I mean, as far as you know, the Underprince is aligned with the organization you're a member of.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just that the Nosferatu are governed by this figure.
Right.
Of the
So it's like
London Nosferatu are basically have their own governor kind of thing.
almost like a duke.
Mhm.
Like a duke.
And
Yeah, so
even the
he-
prince doesn't know a lot about it. This figure is very like as I said, shadowy, not much is known about this figure. It's just sort of like some kind of figurehead in charge of the Nosferatu and making sure that they're strong in London.
Right. Okay. So yeah, he works under the prince, so basically anyone that's anti-Camarilla might dislike it, but otherwise we should be good.
We could go visit him. How would we find him?
Do I know where he is, or like a vague
Probably not
idea?
directly, but you could probably hook up with the local Nosferatu through the ShrekNet and kind of get an idea of
Shrek.
yes. and get an idea of where to kind of connect in. Yes, the Shrek.
All right, yeah. Is it like a?
It's the Nosferatu's version of an internet.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna get onto my ShrekNet and see if I can get into contact with a local Nosferatu that would know.
Like probably some of you some of the other, like the rest of you might have heard of the ShrekNet and had access to it, because basically around this time period by now it's not just Nosferatu. Other clans can use it, but it's sort of like the Nosferatu are still its administrators.
Right.
You know.
We're the princes of the internet.
You kind of are. You basically have the vampire internet and are the masters of it.
Hell yeah.
Except your memes make everyone cry.
Like you do things like you've invented web pages which have things that can only be viewed with auspex.
Ooh.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so you can.
So I can view.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes. You'd find like hidden sections and links that are invisible to mortal eyes, but auspex would reveal it to you. So it's kind of cool. So, I guess, do you want to make a computer's intelligence check? We'll see.
Sure.
Did you have... wait, let me check something for your character. You have status.
Huh?
Your background.
Status?
Mm-hmm.
I have one status.
Okay. Because you can use that with your clan and the camera roll too, so... Yeah, make it difficulty 6 then. Shouldn't be too difficult.
No pool mod? Or...
No pool mod, just your straight pool.
Please tell me if you guys can hear snoring, by the way. It shouldn't
I hear
pick up.
something, but I think it's just the, it sounds more like wind hitting the mic or
Might
something.
be the air conditioner.
Okay, yeah, that's probably what I hear.
Mm-hmm.
Turn it that way, but that might stop it.
Alright. You
Okay.
don't know directly where the Underprince is, but you do manage to connect up with a couple of the locals that inform you there is a kind of, I call it hub area, where a number of Nosferatu get together, and that's most likely the easiest place you can find more information out.
Mm-hmm. Is it in the sewers?
Yeah. I mean, it's like at a major
Goddammit.
sewer junction.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Is it,
It's supposed to be actually under a like an old graveyard, so there is known to be a couple of Nosferatu who kind of like watch the surface of the graveyard. There's supposed to be entrances through the graveyard or through the sewer. Through the graveyard might be more challenging in a way, because then you have to go directly. Basically, there's people kind of guarding the entrance. Through the sewer, you have to put up with the sewer if you're willing to get there, kind of thing. They're a little bit more. If you're willing to put up with the crap down there, they're a little bit more willing to let you.
are they... How accepting of them, or of, like, non-Nosferatu are they? Would I know that?
Probably not very in general, but you could probably like be like, hey, they're with me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. As long as you're
Okay.
not like showing them strange secrets and stuff.
Right. So we have two options. We can either go through the graveyard, which it might be a little bit more difficult to get in due to people being there. I'm sure we could work our way in eventually, somehow. We'll figure it out. The other option is to just go through the sewers. It's in the sewers regardless, though.
If it's in the sewers regardless, we might as well take the easy route.
Fair enough.
You
I
know?
I know you guys aren't the biggest fans
Yeah.
of the sewers. So I'm assuming you guys both want to go through the sewers, or...
Starts fishing out rubber boots.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm putting on like a raincoat and rubber gloves from under the sink, you know?
It's not that bad, but I understand.
I'm just don't worry. I'm a germaphobe. Let's do it.
Gloves.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you all kind of armor yourself up, so to say, against the sewers.
Except for me.
Except for you, and head down into it. There's a distinct difference between the New York City system and the London City system, and the one thing is size. It's a much older system. They have much tighter tunnels and things like that. You know, that's one of the things you notice very quickly when trying to traverse here.
Oh. Oh.
There are some sections. You're sure there are some newer sections, but you know, you're in one of the nicer parts of town, so it has much more of a it's older, repurposed systems, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, you're not wading through everything that's awful. You're just wading through mostly things that are awful. There's plenty of awful to wade through.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm probably I probably don't mind very much. I'm just
strolling along,
leading the way. Come on, guys.
Okay. How do you want to go about navigation down here?
I'm probably just sort of wading through it as I normally would in a sewer. Obviously it's slightly different, but for the most part, kind of just doing my usual thing and making my way in that direction. If at all these guys do jump in and they're like, all right, we're done with this, I can't do this anymore, I would be willing to
Okay. So you kind of wander through the sewers for some period of time. Just roll me a straight intelligence. Just roll intelligence and let's see how that goes. I can check your character to see if there's anything that...
Just me, or?
Mm-hmm. Oh, you can roll intelligence survival, we'll say.
Okay.
Yeah, look through that. You took some levels of survival. That's helpful.
Yeah, I think I took 2. Yeah.
All right. You managed to navigate through the sewers pretty well. You find your way into larger systems where it's much larger tunnels. The water is, you know, there's a nice influx of water because it seems like it's raining outside right now. So you're just wading through this mixture of whatever has been down here stewing and, you know, the influx of storm drain water. It's pleasant.
It's probably worse because we're we're moving through it, shifting it around.
Oh.
Yes. And you have to go through some stuff that's a little deeper than your boots.
Oh.
Not okay.
Mm-hmm. You see some stuff floating in there. You're thankfully you're pretty much immune to disease, kind of thing. You're oh, I'm glad I'm
Samuel,
dead.
what's your strength?
My strength?
Yeah.
2.
That's probably enough to give me a piggyback ride.
No.
You want a piggyback ride? I don't think that.
You could try, but I think it would.
Oh, you just both fall in.
I'm not particularly heavy, thank you. And 2 vampire strength isn't that bad.
It's
2
is normal human strength.
I would probably argue against it a little bit.
It's like an average person. Can an average person piggyback another person?
Yes.
Not easily.
Depending on how small they are.
You probably, if he's on your back, you probably would have difficulty traveling around, at very least.
Mm.
Just through the really deep parts.
You just kind of scramble onto him, whether he likes it or not.
I could give it a try.
All right. I guess roll me just strength, just straight up strength. Just roll it. Let's see what happens.
You want to burn a willpower?
Let's go.
Oh shit!
What's up, Tantus?
All right, then. It's a little difficult for you. You're like, you're still like straining to like carry him. It's like your body is definitely not built to carry Erik for any period of distance anyway. But you're managing. You know, there's this kind of times where you almost like slip up and like fall in, but you manage to keep your balance too during this entire time. You know, Dawn, how about you? How you just going through it?
Oh, I'm just gonna watch and laugh. I'm just gonna
climb on my back
laughing.
as well.
Oh, God. Just like see all three of you. That's like per splorish.
Yeah, I think I'd like crush everyone. But I'll just try. I'll wade on through. I'll try and stop him from falling a little, but I'm not gonna help carry him.
You know, there's
I jump this time.
There's like lots of like splashing through this entire stuff too, so it's like you can't quite keep it off of you. Anyway, after probably about a couple of hours of wandering through the sewer, you start getting into an area where you can see some major piping kind of junction area, and then you start seeing some what appear to be like almost tags on the wall. It looks like done in spray paint. It seems to like say like some kind of like rude thing, but Samuel, you recognize that there is basically it's more than just that. It's more of a marking of like basically you're entering into a territory.
Mm-hmm. Looks like we're almost here.
To the other two of you, it just looks like more sewer.
Yeah.
Mm. It's just like
yeah. So I'm just like
oh, look,
I'm
more sewer.
I think we're getting close, and I think I'll let Erik off my shoulders now, and just sort of lead the way on my own.
All right, you'll come to an
not
area...
on my own, but
yes.
you know.
So you come out to an area where a bunch of the water is basically pouring down into like a central system to move it farther out of the city. And you can kind of see there's a, you've got like a kind of walkway around it where you could go into the various different tunnels. And there's a couple of, there's a ladder leading up from here.
All right, I'll climb up the ladder.
Okay. The other two, I assume, are following, and it will lead you into kind of like, you'll come face to face with, like, as soon as you get up there, kind of stepping out of the shadows is a couple of Nosferatu. Hey, what are you doing down here?
I'm here to see if I can get a meeting with the Underprince. These two are with me. They're with me.
Keep a leash on them.
I tend to have to.
Mm-hmm. All right, they kind of step back and almost fade into the shadows again, disappearing. You like lose sight of them very quickly.
That's terrifying.
So you're kind of in this central sewer junction where the water's a lot less in here. There's like a trickle of water kind of coming down the center of the tunnel, but you can see there's almost like tunnels off to the side where these kind of like makeshift doors have been installed. They have a bunch of like there's like writing on some of them. You notice one seems to be a like would best be described as maybe like some kind of bar. A couple seem to be residencies with just some like names marked on it. One of them seems to be a information shop, they call it.
I think the easiest way to do this without having to spend anything would be to go to the bar. Or maybe get a few drinks.
Uh-huh.
If you guys are
afraid.
There's nothing to be afraid of. We're ugly on the outside, not on the inside. Necessarily.
Why would there be a bar for beings who can't ingest properly? What are
Yes.
they selling?
What?
Rat blood, probably. I don't.
Oh, I'm out.
I've never been here.
Do they have
Uh,
a menu?
We'll take a look when we get in there. Maybe they've got some like fancy vampire drinks or something.
So entering into this bar area, you find it's like a bunch of stools set up. It's a very dark area. Like there's very little light here. There's like what appears to be a rudimentary bar with, it looks like a whole bunch of bottles of all kinds of alcohol in the back. Plus it looks like they have some kind of refrigeration unit below it too. You can kind of see. There's a particularly like ghoulish looking Nosferatu with like incredibly sunken in eyes and like large kind of like extra fangs kind of things. Like it's like his entire maw is kind of spiked with the larger fangs of the vampire kind of thing, kind of looking like lithe and almost skeletal.
It's terrifying.
Not half bad, am I?
No, you look great.
I mean, half of you is like more horrible than him kind of thing, but you know.
Fair enough. It's like really bad over here, but over here.
Yeah, that's the side I tend to stand on.
Whenever I take
Next to the,
selfies, I'm like,
Just gotta angle this right. Just give me a minute. Just
But,
give me a minute.
and it was just him, or are there other people?
There's a couple of other like Nosferatu around, but you also get the feeling that maybe you don't notice all of them around. You know, if they're using obfuscate, they'll just kind of like fade from sight, kind of things, and be like, "Nope, not being seen."
They're not into it. They don't want to be approached. So I imagine I'll probably
the ones that are there. You notice that two of them seem to be having some kind of conversation, and there's another two, each on their own like laptops working.
do we overhear any of the conversation right now, or is it just gonna?
They seem to be
General
discussing one of London's local sporting teams. Do you know a lot about sports?
No.
All right. I'll give you that you could probably pick up there. They seem to be discussing rugby.
Nice.
Mhm.
Alright, so I guess I'll turn to these guys and
Mhm.
if you would like, you can either join me. I'm gonna go speak with that man with the weird mouth.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you can partake in the beverages. Not for me personally, but and then I'll head off in that direction of the guy, and they're welcome to follow.
I'm gonna slowly follow on behind you. I want to see what he says.
You see the bartender, or what's equivalent to a bartender, kind of sitting there, kind of like polishing the top of his bar. He's like, "Welcome to the cesspool. What can I get for you?" As he kind of gives a wry smile, which is even like creepier because it's all those like sharp fanged teeth.
I'll get a mojito for my friend here.
Ooh.
I gesture to Erik.
Aw.
What's his poison?
A mojito.
Yes.
I don't know anything about drinks.
I don't think you understand. I don't like any kind of drug.
Oh, fair enough.
He'll kind
All
of
right, Don, you can
snicker
have
a
the
little bit.
mojito.
He'll kind of
Okay.
snicker a little bit. I'll give you something fine. As you kind of mix something up, and you see him like seemingly mixing a drink, except then you see him kind of reaching down, going into the cooler, and bringing out like a little packet of something very red, and basically adding it in.
See, now you guys get it.
Mhm.
We'd also like to discuss potentially
requires
having
skill to mix this properly.
Of
You were
course.
saying.
we
business.
were wondering if we could get any information on where the Underprince might be, so that we may have a meeting with him.
The city's a big one. What business do you have with our boss?
Well, I thought as a Nosferatu visiting, it would be only right that I address my Underprince and let him know of my arrival.
He's gonna kind of like reach over like to you and with like a hand slap you on the shoulder. I did notice the accent. Where do you hail from, oh brother from across the pond?
I am from New York, as are my friends.
Exciting. What? So business brings you to old town and your old London town, and you're here to, of course, meet with the Underprince. Well, if I was to send a message along the network, what would I say this business is about?
Information, as always.
Of course. But one of high prestige, such as Underprince, is always very busy. Couldn't you go to other information brokers? There's a couple of folks that live around here that, well, we don't quite get such friendly visitors sometimes, but they know where to go for the right information.
Of course. I mean, it goes beyond that, though, as well. I would like to let him know of my arrival, and because, you know, follow the same customs that you would any prince, even though is not at that level necessarily.
I understand what you're saying. You wish to respect the elders of our community, and at least as long as you're in the city, respect the community. I feel for you, youngin. I feel for you. You have made a wise choice. Always wise. I'm sure I can find a way to send a message along. Why don't you sit, enjoy a few drinks? We can bring you virgin drinks, too, if that's what your poison is. He's looking to Erik.
Did they ever hand me the drink or anything?
They have a drink that's like right in front of you.
I'm gonna grab it, just slide it over to Don.
It seems to be what would be referred to as a blood mojito.
Oh, I'm in.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm gonna just start drinking that.
Okay. Well, because you can ingest it better anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I'll just have some whiskey with a little bit of blood.
Just taking like a blood shot.
Yeah.
It tastes fine. It tastes less like for you, Samuel, it's a little different than you normally would ingest. So you're guessing, you're not sure what it is, but you're not sure, you don't think it's rat.
You don't think it's what?
Rat. You used to rat, you know, you drink it most of the time.
Yeah.
You basically kind of like, it's sort of like people that like eat vegetarian, you're like eating rat, you know?
Oh, this is interesting. Tastes pretty good.
All right, you're just gonna kind of hang around for a while. What do you want to do now?
I'm mostly waiting.
I'm gonna finish my drink.
Okay. A little bit of time will go by, and eventually, though, you will, he'll kind of come back around and kind of turn towards you. Looks as though there's a little bit of word in the grapevine that perhaps you could get a meeting.
Was there anything I would need to do to,
Oh, no. I mean, looks like you've already been looked into, and you're already on the hook for enough stuff. We're not monsters. And so kind of like give another wry smile and kind of chuckle to himself.
That is much appreciated.
Just wait around and someone's going to come and find you.
Okay.
You'll probably wait for like another couple of hours, just kind of hang around. You'll notice that you feel like you're very watched, like all the time, kind of thing. Like, you know, as if like they're just kind of keeping an eye on you. And the two that seem to be working on the computers, you know, they seem to be ignoring you. The pair that was having a conversation will leave eventually, and you're pretty sure, like, after enough time, that there's probably others that for some reason you just, like, you don't notice them. But again, this place is very dark, so it's like, it's, you know, you've got like these spotlights almost on various tables, and the rest is just kind of shadowy and dark, so you just kind of feel like creepily watched all the time in here. It's pleasant.
Yeah, of course. I'm probably just, you know, drinking, having a couple more drinks, hanging out.
About how many do you have?
Probably just 2 or 3.
Okay.
Like not like a bunch.
Okay.
But
then you're probably fine, I'm gonna say, because they have rules for alcohol, drinking alcohol intoxicated blood. They have rules for that.
Oh no.
Can you get drunk off of it?
You
Yes.
can. You can.
Oh,
How much
great.
do you drink, Don?
If you would go and drink someone that would be like a inebriated person, you will get kind of effects of being drunk.
Nice.
Sounds great.
It's the
Same with people who get high and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, any of that kind of thing, you get the effects of whatever's in the blood.
Nice.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time, honestly.
Yeah. You just get, like, you know, the people you're drinking blood from, like, all, like, messed up on stuff just so that you can, you know, get the bonus.
You don't then have to buy it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm saving money. I would have only had like 2 or 3 as well, so.
Yes.
Would Erik have taken up any of the virgin drinks? Nothing, or fair enough.
I mean,
Don't trust them.
That's fair.
As far as you can throw them.
you can't throw them very far. Okay, so after those 2 hours, though, kind of another Nosferatu is going to enter in. This one has kind of like a weirdly like crinkled and wrinkled up face that makes it almost look like it kind of like have a pucker all the time, as if their face has kind of been squeezed together and stretched a little bit down into a point. Kind of got like crumpled like hair that looks like it probably was really nice looking at one point in time. It takes you a minute, but then you realize that this figure is female. Just, it's very hard to tell just by like looking. She kind of comes up to you and goes, "Hey, you the blokes looking, you the folks looking for the Underprince?" I was gonna do my accent and I stopped myself.
Yes, we are.
All right, come this way.
All right, yeah, I'll follow closely behind.
Okay. She's going to lead you outside and kind of down the main thoroughfare for a while and to what looks to be a private residence. Leading you inside, you'll see there's another kind of Nosferatu, like hairless, kind of pointed features, a little bit more traditional, like, you know, movie Nosferatu kind of looking, except for like weird fissures almost in his face, kind of sitting there to the side, kind of watching you. And there's like a table with a laptop on it. As you enter the room, the two of them kind of stand back and the laptop turns on. There is a digital kind of like figure, kind of like it's like you're getting video, but it's like messed up video is the easiest way to say it, like on purpose. And then like kind of digital voice was like, which I'm not gonna even try to make a digital voice. Thank you very much.
Like anonymous.
Yeah, kind of like anonymous. It's like, were you so? You were those that were looking for me.
I would like to start by informing you of my presence, of course, in...
Oh, of course, Samuel. It's good to have another of our kind in the city. I knew of your sire. We met previously.
Oh. Well, uh, hopefully that he did not tarnish my reputation at all.
It was long before you were created. Long ago. We could best be described as distant cousins, in a way. We trace back much closer than plenty of others in the line of our blood. As we are all connected in a way, though, too, are we not?
Of course.
Yes. But
yes, I came to show respect, of course, to you.
and I thank you. And, of course, welcome to Friends of Samuel. Dawn, Erik. Very nice for you to join us this day. I hope you found our hospitality wonderful.
Yes, absolutely. However, we are here about something else as well. Information, business.
I know why you're here. You want information on Mr. Cromwell.
Mm-hmm.
You forget. Our information network has already been watching and learning from others. Seems like you've made contact with plenty of folks, and well, good luck for the mound of hooks you've put yourself on. They shouldn't be too deep.
Yeah, I imagine plenty of them we can get ourselves out of if need be.
Yes. You wouldn't want to be reeled in. Anyway, but down to business. I'm afraid information on Mr. Cromwell is quite difficult to obtain. He only appeared on the scene the last couple of decades ago. His exact origins before then, I'm unsure of. No one's sure of. We're not even sure who he originally was, or his exact age. We know he's powerful, and we know that he's made many deals. He's assisted the Camarilla in the city, and of course, every one of his personas he's had in the city supports the University of London. But I'm afraid you knew most of that information. What you don't know is that this same public figure has a number of investments. It's good to know what businesses he has his hand in, but this is something that won't help you find him directly, unless you probably want to mess with him in a way that I wouldn't recommend. Someone as old as that's using human finances would not probably like you messing with said finances.
But it would be a good way to bait him out, get his attention.
That's true. But I'm sure you want to be friendly, just as you're trying to be friendly with me. There is some good news. If you're around for a couple more weeks, the next gala at the University of London he's supposed to make an appearance at.
That is good news.
Yes. It's unfortunate that he manages to stay shy of the cameras, but I'm afraid that's an extra burden upon him. One that's not normally for his type. Normally our good friend Lasombra would not be noticed. But he also seems to suffer from this. It's an interesting little tidbit about him that makes you think a little bit.
May I ask why you are providing this information with such ease?
Well, a little bit of it is to have fun. You're going to be doing some things which will be quite entertaining. And I wouldn't want you killed right away. A little
Well,
bit
I
of
appreciate that.
An old favor to your sire. He never said anything about looking out for his child, eh? But I'm sure if the opportunity had been able to rise, you would have done the same. So, of course, a little bit of respect for that connection there. And also, because I'm sure you have some information that I'm going to want. And you can provide a little bit of it right now. Seems like you've been dealing with a new group on the scenes. We backtraced things to our New York friends. There's been word of an organization. A new one, a new player on the scene. What do you know about them?
I believe they're called the Caine Institute.
K Institute. C-A-I. But it's pronounced, yes.
K
Like, it's not like Kai, it's pronounced K. Yeah.
Yeah. The K Institute. There isn't a lot of information, at least not to my knowledge. Aside from them, I believe they were searching for a page from the Book of Nod, if I'm not mistaken. Looking somewhat towards Erik, because I remember he seemed to know about the dancers and all that.
Do you have a piece of paper and pen, like a decent sized one, so I can show you what I mean before I start talking about it?
The woman with the kind of scrunched up face will kind of retrieve some, like a pad and pen and bring it over to you.
Yeah. She hands me, and I just quickly sketch out the symbol and separately identify the ones that I know. The techno mance or whatever they are, the black spiral dancers, and the undying ones, the mummies. And these are the ones that I've been able to identify so far. Black spiral dancers, mummies, and techno mage people.
And the Harbingers of Skulls. Interesting.
Yes, and
them.
I pull out the Technomancer gun that I got. We also retrieved this. It was in the possession of one of them.
All right. Good for you. That seems like...
Yeah, not quite sure how it works.
I would unfortunately get rid of that if I were you.
Oh.
It's beyond most of us, our skill. And I'm fairly certain you're being tracked. Perhaps because you made connections with them in a way. They haven't sent someone after you. And perhaps since it seems like this group is an offshoot of the main group, if you were dealing with the Technocratic Union directly, they probably would have sent some people in to eliminate you already for stealing from them.
I'll be sure to get rid of this as soon as possible.
Like he'll have taken a look at the symbol, like someone will have scanned it in. He's gonna say, "You are missing a few things here. It's not directly the Black Spiral Dancers. Both fortunate and unfortunate for you. And it does seem to be only one group of the Technocratic Union. I recognize this group. It's the Progenitors. They traditionally deal with medical technology, it seems. So I'm not quite sure what this means. And the last symbol's not the Black Spirals, but Pentex. I'm not sure you've heard of them. We know enough of them. They are a company that deals with black spirals oftentimes. They hire a lot of them on. It seems that this company is controlled by werewolf's enemies, you can say. The strange, dark spirit creatures that they fight. Well, seems like they found a place in amongst mortals to do their whatever building they deal with all the time. Fascinating, though. 4 groups combined into one. This does interest me greatly.
I imagined it would.
Curious, though. A Book of Nod would be something that I would see Harbingers going after. There has to be something more that you learned in your meetings.
Unfortunately, I didn't partake in the actual meeting itself. Erik here did. I was busy outside with Dawn.
They were fucking things up.
Oh, indeed. Well, Erik,
So,
did you learn anything else?
We would like to know a cleaner way in and out of here.
Oh, yes. I'll arrange that you can head up through the graveyard. Should be able to get out just fine. The secret entrances. And, of course, if you want to visit again, you have been quite friendly. You'd be allowed back in. At least as long as you are reasonable for us. But know this. I'm not 100% in control of anyone here, as none of us truly are. It's a matter of respect that they stay in line. So if you should do something that attracts the attention of another one of our brethren here, I have nothing to do to stop them.
understandable. We don't go out of our way to cross people often, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Excellent. Company, an ancient race of undying, a group of vampires of strange, deadly progression, and a group of biological science-related mages. Unusual with what they're planning. Very unusual. If you'd share more information with me, perhaps we could share more information in the future.
I do have some files on my laptop that I'd be willing to share. I don't know how useful the information is. I couldn't pick up on anything, but maybe you could.
That sounds like a great deal. Then it's been a trade. Information for information. And, I believe your friend Nathan should find it a little easier to finish up gaining access to the gala event.
Oh. Well, that is greatly appreciated.
Just keep an eye out. You'll have friends watching you while you're there. Anyway.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
The monitor will go off. The two Nosferatu will then, kind of like look to you as if to leave this place. And let's take our break here, as I think we can get a Nathan in as you come and go and meet up with him.
Woo!
Anyway, so drink, bathroom. I'll try to readjust all the cameras and stuff again, which I probably have to do in the stream. So wonderful about that.
Oof.
'Cause I can't see it otherwise when I've got the top screen up. So, but I'll do that when we get back from break. I'll fix everybody's video. But until then, get your drink, get your bathroom break, get your snack, and we'll be back in a couple minutes. So, see you in a second, folks. Bye-bye.
Woo!